So how do you see the potential of digital solutions regarding women's health in the next 10 years?
I think there's a huge potential. So one of the things I mentioned was that, especially for women experiencing the so-called embarrassing symptoms pertaining to sexual health,
Mm-hmm.
this would be a perfect opportunity for them to be able to reach out to menopause health specialists and discuss that,
Mm-hmm.
remotely almost, rather, because a lot of them feel embarrassed to speak
Mm-hmm.
to their physicians, maybe in most cases would be male, even sometimes female
Mm-hmm.
healthcare providers. That's one potential. And also connectivity, connecting other women. I love the way you said menopause anonymous. I love
Yes.
that. Like, that's
Honestly, it just came to me, I'm like, yeah,
it.
let's do it like alcohols and Alcoholic
Yeah.
Anonymous kind of thing. And that would work, I tell you, Erica, that would work.
That will be a huge potential, because then women from all over the world, the country, wherever, to connect and start discussing, perhaps I use this, particular cream for my symptom. Why don't you try this?
Yes.
Pretty much the TripAdvisor model, whereby you go to a hotel and they give you a star rating. You
Yeah.
could do that with certain products and different services which you've used. So I see that potential as well. But I think the main thing is improving access to services. A lot of women don't know how or where to be able to get expert advice and to feel comfortable with the advice which they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
You draw that down, especially for women from ethnic minorities, in terms of reducing that barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as you said, that going through menopause, you're deemed as not being fertile, not being attractive, and that's really quite sad. But it's
Yes.
rife in the community. I was speaking with a lady from just conducting a focus group to understand her experience of menopause.
Mm-hmm.
It, as you said, it's almost like young blood. You're deemed as being not as attractive when you go through menopause, but the menopause should be celebrated. It's a woman where you come from
Yes.
that. Change is good, so it should be
Yes.
celebrated. But rather, it seemed as the other way, whereby, oh, here we go,
Mm-hmm.
old. But no, it's a way to be celebrated. Individuality. It's an exciting time, I think, and I think that's where tech really needs to be able to innovate solutions to allow women to make informed decisions, because
Yes.
often, not just the physical health, but also the mental health, which is
Exactly.
something that women struggle with. And again, mental health is still deemed taboo in African cultures, not just in ethnic minority cultures. Almost they don't see depression, anxiety, or low mood as a thing. But in the Western
Absolutely.
world, it is seen as a thing, because obviously there's all these different services and tech solutions geared towards it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the understanding needs to come in, that this can really help if you
Mm-hmm.
know what it is. But also, I think another key is the local content, making sure the content is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we know mental health is very important, but if you're actually to use a language whereby women from these communities understand the importance of, if if you have good mental health, you're able to parent better, you're able to relate to other people better, just really break it down so they can understand.
Yeah.
Then it's able to sell the benefits to them, then the adoption will be greater, I think.
No, no, no. You've said it all. Exactly my thoughts. The first thing is mental health and well-being. That for me is huge, and I advocate them and advocate for that and all that. The body goes where the mind goes. The mind
Yeah.
leads. So if I am very comfortable in my mind and I'm stable and everything, I think that my body would follow suit. The mind is a powerful organ, and if you take care of it, it will take care of you. So that's why these are things that are pertinent to, especially mental health and well-being to women, especially in that what should I say, category of menopause. That group, of menopausal women. Yeah, but women that are not going through that, yeah, it's okay. But for women that have had their whole life ahead of them, and especially for younger women who have had their reproductive um, experience or potential experience cut short because of an illness or whatever, you really have to dig deep and to make sure that they don't go over the cliff, because it is crazy. What I have been in infusion chairs taking chemo, and have been with young women who are, I'm about 15, 20 years older than, and I I accept, because I've had, children.
Yeah.
But what about them that
Mm,
are just beginning the journey?
mm,
What do you expect them to do? you know
yeah.
um, but they have to stay alive, right? So they have to have these treatments done. So like
Yeah.
you rightly said, yes, mental health and well-being is very pertinent during this discourse, because that is what is going to keep women um, mentally focused and fighting to make
Yeah.
sure that they're not pushed over. In fact, this is the time to revamp yourself. I always tell women, I was on a menopause podcast show, and I always tell women, this is the time to revamp yourself. God
Right.
has given you you're at another stage,
Mm,
So
yeah.
this is what you were scared to do, what you should have done, what you regret not doing 40 years before. Now is the time to, climb that cliff, or jump off, or start swimming, or skydive,
Okay.
so yeah, this is it. And yeah, we'll get that conversation across as much as possible, because women need to be their fears have to be alleviated,
Yeah.
that all is well, you know and
Indeed.
yeah,
Indeed.
but exactly.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
if you could, if yes, you wanted to say something.
No, I just wanted to add to that in terms, especially within our communities, because women tend to be so sacrificial. It's always
Mhm.
about the family and raising children, and but that is a time where, as you say, to really go for it, celebrate yourself, your uniqueness.
Mhm.
Change is good. It's not just change is not bad. Change is good. As you say, it's to revamp yourself, to rejuvenate, just to say, "Hey, well, I'm here."
Exactly. Pat yourself. If you don't pat yourself on the back, nobody's going to pat your back for you. You have to start first. When people see that you're patting yourself on the back, they will follow suit. If you
Yeah,
don't love yourself first, nobody loves you.
no,
So these are the things that have to be, is all encompassing when talking about women's health.
yeah,
You know? Yeah.
yeah.
So what would you what I would like to ask, this is from your point of view anyway. If you could do one thing to improve healthcare where you are, in the UK, what would it be, and why?
I think it would be a focus to more from the preventative, so more being proactive about our own health rather than be reactive. So our healthcare system, and I thank God for it, obviously it's free, the NHS, but the demand is so high. It's outweighing the supply. It's really, really under pressure at the moment, more so in the current circumstances. However, everybody needs to take the ownership of their own health and not leave it to the system to take care of them. And this is what we see time and time again, which is quite sad because together, collectively, we make up the whole.
Mm-hmm.
If you are looking after yourself, really investing in yourself in terms of your mental health, ensuring that you're eating well, you're exercising right, the chances are, yes, it's inevitable. It's unfortunate sometimes things happen outside of our control. But the things within your control, if you can control it and and do the best you can, you are investing in your health. So the chances of you therefore needing to use this healthcare system
Mm-hmm.
is going to be less. Therefore, less of a not of a burden, but less of a strain on the already strained healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my ideal situation is that everybody really invest in their health as much as possible to really reduce the reins because the demand is huge.
Yes.
And it's about patient education, understanding that you are in charge of your health, not your healthcare provider, not the system. It is you. So that's how I would really. That's my viewpoint. It's not everybody's viewpoint. I understand that, but for my own, that's how I see it.
Yes. And in addition to that, and I agree with you totally, is that we should always be our own best advocate. And health literacy is very, very important. Um, when I was caught up in my cancer journey, I was doing up a lot of reading. I just became science inclined after my treatment. Honestly, I just became, it's like, oh my God, the dam broke. And so much was happening, so much I didn't know, so much I was reading up about. And I would go to my oncologist and he would say, Miss Gray, stop reading, because I was coming asking all sorts of questions and all that. That opened up my, you know,
Mm,
the opened up the horizon as regards healthcare. And yeah, you hit some very good points there. You know, be your own best advocate, be involved in health literacy, um, know your body too, because nobody
mm,
can tell you if it doesn't feel right. Like I say, then it's not right. If I have a headache that's been persistent for 3 days, then something is wrong. My BP is probably acting up or something, you know. Don't ignore signs and symptoms, because for me, I didn't know I had cancer. I didn't have the usual
mm,
breast cancer symptoms, you
yeah,
know, pain or whatever. No,
yeah,
as you know, what
yeah,
happened,
yeah,
you know, I
yeah,
just fell in the bathroom and
yeah,
then went down that rabbit hole. So we honestly have to be more aware
mm,
of our bodies, love our bodies,
yeah,
listen to our gut
yeah,
feelings,
yeah.
and even those that are going to medical treatments for medical appointments and all that, sometimes there's so much to take in. There's too much information to take in. So what
Mm,
do I say? We're talking about digital devices, right?
mm,
I always say you have a smartphone. Take your smartphone. When you go see your doctor and he's giving you the medical jargon, just press record. When you get home, you go over that recording and do your own homework and everything, because not everybody will have
mm,
the time to
yeah.
accompany you to treatments or for appointments or whatever. So if prior to your appointment, I'm sure you would know as a medical person that you always ask questions before you go, because when you get there, you're going to be bombarded and overwhelmed with so many things. So, best before your appointment, write down the questions that you're going to ask the pharmacist or the doctor or the nurse, um, so that you don't derail and get the information from there.
Indeed, indeed, and to add to that as well is that there is no such thing as a silly question. It's
Hmm.
regarding your health. I think again from our communities, almost they don't want to bother the doctor. Oh, it may be a silly question. There's no such thing as that. You know your body better than anybody else, and
Hmm.
as you say, if it's something you don't understand, by all means take that away. That's a fantastic way of recording that, and just taking that away and really dissecting the information. But as you said, go in, making sure you've got your questions beforehand before you go.
Yes, exactly. That's what I had to do, you
Yeah.
know, and then later on when, you know, back home, over a cup of tea, say, okay, what did Dr. K say to me today? What makes sense and what doesn't, you know? So that's it. Yeah, fantastic. I'm getting so carried away, but I know time is of the essence. So, what advice would you give to that viewer watching right now, a woman like us, to adopt and adapt to digital health solutions, especially women who are old school, who are not used to all this that's happening? What would you
Yeah.
say?
I think first of all, to keep it really simple, to really look at your life and your, especially your health and well-being, and look, is there any way that tech, a tech solution, could enable me to live my life better in the moment? You know, for me, I love my phone, but I don't want to be addicted to it every single moment. I still want to live my life with my family, things that I enjoy.
Yes.
The problem is you can be addicted to your phone, notifications, inputting your, tracking information, but you want it to be used as a tool, an enabler to live a better life in the moment rather than be addicted to it. So really
Hmm.
just thinking back, how can I live my life better?
Hmm.
And if that solution is part of it, then explore it. Keep an open mind. Because often we are so used to doing things because it's always worked, but sometimes we explore things a bit differently. We think, oh wow, I wish I discovered this, earlier.
Earlier, right.
Exactly. But another way, perhaps tech solution may not be the best. So it's almost whereby where you go for your health checkups, speaking to the healthcare provider and finding out what digital health solutions are there, perhaps to manage your chronic condition or a certain health condition or something that you want to find more about. Because quite often you want to ensure that the evidence which you're getting is up to date and evidence based. And that's where the tech element comes in, because tech is always evolving at its rapid rate. So a textbook which you consulted may be out of date and
Mm-hmm.
the information may be up to date. So that's where the technological aspect comes in, because you get the digital downloads and uploads, so whatever you want to call it. So therefore it's depending on where the source, you're
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed that it will be up to date and evidence based. So I would say really takes up where can the tech solution enable me to live a better life, and then
Mm-hmm.
explore that from a real reputable place, not just because the internet has a plethora of information out there, and
Mm-hmm.
then look for more good reputable sources. So you want to ensure that the source which you're getting the information would be an app, because there's an app for pretty much everything out there. Then
Mm-hmm.
it's from a reputable library. So here the NHS, we've got NHS Labs Library, which means that the application which has then been advertised has gone through stringent tests, and it
Absolutely.
knows the security, because you'll be putting your data, your data will be secure. That is important. So yeah, just really kind of doing those due diligence checks and seeing, but most importantly, how can I live my life better? That's all we want, isn't it, in life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And one big takeaway I would say is what you said, data, because
Mm.
data is now gold. In fact, more expensive than gold,
Yeah.
really, because without that, we cannot put policies into place. Like you were speaking earlier about trying to ensure that menopause and all aspects regarding this are part of policies for women's health.
Mm.
And
Mm.
of course you can't put that across if you don't have enough data and, like you said, evidence backed info to make
Mm.
sure that, yeah, these things, we should really think about this. It's
Mm.
needed, and all that, and these women should be taken care of,
Mm.
as
Mm.
regards that.
Indeed.
Awesome, awesome. So, Erica, as a wife, mother, a daughter, an entrepreneur, how do you balance how do you stay grounded and relax and
Oh wow. For me, the non-negotiable, or what I make a priority for me, is I wake up. Oops, excuse me. That's my alarm. I wake up early before the family, and that's my time where I meditate, I pray, I read spiritual literature. That's the way I stay grounded, and that's a priority for me. It's almost the way I pour into myself, because if there's nothing within myself, I can't then give out to anybody. And I'll
Mhm.
never forget, I don't know where I heard this from. And as I say, if mama ain't right, no one's happy.
True.
So it's just like I have to make sure that I'm pouring to myself and my cup is running over, and I
Has
do
to
get
run
that.
over.
It has to run
Yes.
over, because otherwise things will not be as good. But for me also, love to read, and obviously your book, which I've got so many books I'm juggling. I'm
Oh,
loving it so
bless.
far. I love to read, to write, walking in nature. It just energizes me. Just trying to find just the simple things. It's a solitude. I really like to reflect and to pray and to meditate. Those are the things that really ground me.
Yes, and that is a balance. That is a very good balance. Mind, body, and spirit. That is it, and those are key elements of our
Mhm.
existence. And
Yeah.
so you have balanced all these aspects very well. That's nice. Talking about my book, did you enjoy it?
I,
Or
you
are
know,
you enjoying it?
actually, I am still reading it. Yes.
Oh wow! Thank you so much.
Honestly, I love it. And the thing is for me, because I love to read, I've got so many books in the go. But I said to myself, for sure, once I get to the end,
Oh wow!
I leave my positive
No
review, because
problem.
it's
I
so
put a lot of
inspirational.
pidgin English and Yoruba and all that, to give it some flavor, some pepe, as we say.
I love the glossary.
Yes, I had to, for everyone to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Erica, thank you so much for your wonderful insights and everything. So, what are your social media handles? Because I'll be sharing that. with my audience and friends, readers.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, it's been a pleasure being on your show. Thank you so much for having me, Grace. It's I love for us to be connected.
Swell, swell, swell. I love to, I mean, this, I wish we could go on and on
I
because
know, I
you
know.
really piqued my interest in tech. You know.
Um, my social media handles, so you can find me on LinkedIn, and Erica Opare. I'm on LinkedIn. I also I'm on Instagram, Erica Opare as well. That's also the other hat that I wear is also a coach. I also do have my coaching business, so that's going to pertain into my Instagram account.
Mhm.
I'm also on Twitter, and the handle Erica E Opare. So you find me on Twitter as well. I send a lot of tweets. I'm still getting used to all the social media.
I tell you, I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Yes, that's you can find me. Come and say hi.
Yes, indeed. And you're going to have to send me those links so that I can put them on my pages when our show is uploaded. All
Thank you.
right. So that you've been wonderful, a great, fantastic, and very interesting guest, and I'm sure that we have a lot of collaborations in the future. Like I said, I'm always there if you need me, and I know that you'll always be in my corner as well.
Well,
We have good things, and we have a lot of things in common, and I'm sure we can put things together forward as we go forward. All right.
well, indeed. It's so great to connect with you, and I think we said we're kindred spirits. It's almost I feel like I've known you forever.
I know, you know, it was like that. It happens. It happens. But this has been wonderful. You know, deep, very deep.
Likewise, likewise.
Thank you so much, Erica. But before I sign you out, I'm going to speak to the audience and then we end. Okay.
Okay.
So, my dear audience and friends, there you have it. You've been listening to a lovely lady, Erica Opare, pharmacist, entrepreneur, mother, daughter, all the way in the UK, talking about her love for tech innovations as regards healthcare delivery. And she's also an advocate for diversity and inclusion in the tech space. So, you're going to be hearing more about her. I'll be posting her links and everything in my show notes, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so hope you've been able to grab some good takeaways from this show. As always, is Grace B doing what she knows how to do best. Ciao, ciao. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you.
Love to see you, and God bless.
See you. God bless. Bye.
Bye.